The Spanish Fork and Salem Area Chamber of Commerce is pleased to present Chamber Today. Here we discuss the who's, what's, and where's of our local business community. Welcome to Chamber Today with your host, Aaron Stern.
Coming up on Chamber Today, our guests will be Jesse Cardon with Grifols Biomat, Seth Perrins, the Spanish Fork City Manager, and Lance Wilson with State Farm Insurance. We'll be right back to chat with Jesse after this short break. Welcome to Chamber Today. I'm Aaron Stern, a local business owner and also a member of the board of directors for the Spanish Fork and Salem Area Chamber of Commerce. Our first guest is Jesse Cardon, the center manager of Grifols Biomat here in Spanish Fork. Jesse, thanks for coming on the show today.
Anytime.
So you guys just had your 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, just last Saturday we hit 1 year of being open at the center.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
So you're relatively new, the company, to our Spanish Fork business community. Tell us a bit about Grifols Biomat and what you guys do.
Yeah, so Grifols is a pharmaceutical company based out of Spain, out of Barcelona.
Okay.
It's worldwide. We do a lot of life-saving products from human-derived product from the plasma that we collect. Biomat, the center that's here in Spanish Fork, we do the collection of that plasma. So
Okay.
Donors come in the door, they donate their plasma, and that plasma goes to some freezers, which at our center, they're very cold, negative 40 degrees.
Oh,
and
wow.
then
That's cold.
they go to California or Raleigh or other places in the country and are kept there, and then they're made into medications for people across the world.
Okay. Is it just plasma that you're getting, or is there other things that you do there?
Yeah, so we just do plasma in our center.
Okay.
And yeah, so that plasma or your blood goes into a machine where it's spun very quickly, and the plasma is taken from that. And your blood is given back to you. So that's why our donors can actually donate twice in a 7-day period.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, when I drive past there on Main Street, I see your lots. There's a lot of cars out there now.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are you seeing a week or a month or however you count that?
Right. Yeah. So we have anywhere from 200 to 300 people coming through our center on a daily basis.
Wow.
And so we have the community has really embraced what we're doing, and there's some things that we have at our center that help with that. One of those things is childcare, or a play area, I should say, where when you're donating plasma after your first time, you have children that are between the ages of 3 and 12, have to be potty trained, come in, and you can have them come in, play. We have some really good childcare workers there that help with that, and you get to donate plasma, and we compensate you for that plasma, the time it takes to donate plasma. And so you're able to have your kids watched by the play area, and then also donate plasma, which is really awesome.
How long does it take to donate?
Yeah, so our times at our center are about 80 to 85 minutes of time that someone walks in the door and the time that they're walking out the door. So the time commitment is not too terribly long there. Okay, great.
It's a pretty large building. How many jobs did you guys create here in Spanish Fork?
So currently we have just over 50 employees there, and we're still hiring. Right now we have a few more spots open, and as we continue to have more donors come to the center, we'll continue to be able to hire more people, and we've expanded our hours recently. So now we're open from 5:30 to 8 Monday through Friday, and 7 to 2 on Saturday.
5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we try to make it so that anybody who wants to donate has that opportunity. Be open when, as donors, you want to come in the door, so that we're available to offer that service.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your involvement in the chamber. How's that helped your business?
Yeah, so before, I actually moved here to Spanish Fork about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And before that, I was managing the center in Provo. And Provo's a pretty big city, and and that chamber involvement was a little bit different. But Mitch, who was the center manager before me, had got the ball rolling a little bit here in Spanish Fork. And so when I took over just over a year ago, it was natural for me to want to serve in the community that I live in, but also the chamber has embraced us, the businesses around here have embraced us, and it gives us an opportunity to serve alongside other business owners, but also to show what Grifols can bring to the community and help within the community.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about our chamber here, is because of the size of the community. When you're involved in the chamber, you get to know pretty much most business owners, and you get to know a lot of people in the community.
Yeah, and Spanish Fork is such a growing area right now, and we're bringing in such a diverse, different group of business professionals, right? You have a lot of people who've been here for a long time. We have, myself, I'm running a business that that it's a bigger business, but also have that. I live here in the community, so I know what the community is looking for and needing, and so it's just a different dynamic. And being a part of the chamber offers that response. So
I was going to ask you one other thing. When somebody's donating their plasma, how much can they earn on it?
So in our centers, we start our donors off at $25 the first time of the month, and then it goes up by $5 each donation.
Okay.
So, and they can donate twice a week. So, that math works out a little bit different every month.
Yeah.
But our new donors, the first time you come in, you're going to get $75 the first time, and $75 the second, and then $50 and $50. So, those first four. Yeah. It's a lot of people are driving Lyft or Uber, doing those other side jobs right now. And this is something that you could, help with other things that are going on in your life to help supplement that income. And also, I think that the one thing that gets forgotten a lot is that plasma is going to legitimately saving lives. Donating blood is an admirable thing, but donating plasma is just that same way. It's something that people cannot live without, and so you're doing that when you donate plasma. Yeah,
that's great. Can anybody donate?
So it's relatively healthy people. We go through a physical process the first time that
similar
you come
to
in.
donating blood, kind of. Okay.
Yeah, and and we check your eyes, ears, nose, throat. Some of those things we ask some medical conditions, because sometimes you need the plasma that you have in your body to help keep you healthy. Yeah. But other times, most people are able to donate plasma, but we do make sure that you're healthy to donate, that you're going to be safe along the way, and also that the plasma that you're giving is going to be safe for those patients that are going to get it. So we test it every time that you come in for certain communicable diseases and those type of things.
Okay, great. Well, that's a great way to make some extra money on the side and help out people in need as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Jesse, for coming on our show today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and coming up next on Chamber Today, we'll talk with the city manager of Spanish Fork. Stay with us. Welcome back to Chamber Today. Our next guest is Seth Perrins, the city manager of Spanish Fork. Thanks for joining us today, Seth.
My pleasure.
How are things going?
Fantastic.
Wow, it's been a crazy couple of years here in Spanish Fork. Lots happening.
Yeah, certainly a growth time for the community, for sure.
So we want to check in with the city and kind of get some updates on some current projects. I know a big one in everybody's minds is the new fire station going in.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the fire station?
Fantastic development. We'll build our second fire station. Construction will start on that in October. We plan on a groundbreaking the first part of October, and construction will proceed through the winter, and we expect that the fire station will be completed in September of 2020, coinciding with the opening of the new Intermountain Hospital in Spanish Fork.
Yeah, we had them on last month, and that'll line right up. That'll be perfect.
Yep.
So with the fire station, is it going to be a volunteer or full-time people?
Yeah, so the new fire station will have the ability for anything. We'll start with a little bit of what we have had. Of course, the new fire station will give us the ability to have a second ambulance in a new part of town. Yeah. And really, the ambulance calls are what drives our emergency response today. There are significantly more calls for ambulance than fire. But we'll have a second ambulance there all day through the day, just like we have one ambulance at the other station. Okay. And we are going to transition with our volunteer force that we have and our part-time force that we have. And then we expect shortly to be able to add some additional personnel. And we'll work through that with our staff and identify the best course, the best timing, and probably the most important way I could ever describe this is to do it fiscally responsibly. It's very expensive to hire a crew of firefighters and EMTs. If you go full-time, one person doesn't really do it. You have to have 3, 4, and then you can't just have one crew. You got to have 3 crews, so that's 12, and you start adding 12 people, and you get into the $1 million range. So we've tried to do it the best way I can describe it is the Spanish Fork way. We want to maintain a high level of service, and if we can, we always want to take one more step better. Yep. Just one step better, and that typically means we put a little bit more money into it and add a little bit more resources, giving our people that we have today the ability to do their job even better. And this new station will be, it will significantly enhance the response time, especially for the east part of our community. Yeah.
So you'll have full-time people then on call at both locations for the EMTs.
Yeah, That's great. Just like we have today, we'll certainly have people in the station 7 a.m. to midnight.
Great. So you brought some pictures to show us.
Yeah, if we want, you can look at an image of the fire station today. That there are a couple of images that we can look at. One of these just gives a street view, and it shows that it's coming fall of 2020. But if we look at some of the images, you can see that we're a view from Canyon Road. For many people, they may not know where the fire station will be located. It's going to be on the corner of Canyon Road and Spanish Fork Parkway.
Okay. I think you actually have a sign up now.
Yeah, it was just put up either today or on Friday. Yeah. And this other image that we can look at shows you kind of a view of the bays. Okay. And you can see it'll be very open, transparent, if you will, and people can see the inside, see the trucks, and it'll really evoke a sense of safety and community inside. And then there's a view from the back, kind of the parking lot you can see from maybe the northern angle. And those just are some renderings. Mm-hmm. The designs aren't quite done, but really, really close. And like I said, construction should start in about a month.
Okay, great. So is this going to service Highway 6 in the canyon?
Yep. This would be the primary responder for Highway 6, the canyon, the East Bench. Of course, if they're out on a call and another one comes in that same general area, then the other station would respond as well. So they would just back each other up. But this would be the primary responder for the eastern area and the canyon. So
why Station 62?
Yeah, Station 62. Not because we have 62 fire stations, right? This is just our second fire station. But the number 6 is actually a term for Spanish Fork. Okay. In the naming, in the public safety world, the cities in Utah County were all assigned a number many, many years ago, and Spanish Fork is number 6. Okay. Utah County is number 1, and we're number 6. And so as they call out a rescue truck or an ambulance, it's rescue truck 61 or ambulance 61 and ambulance 62. When they page something, they'll want to say station 62, and that tells them they're talking to this station versus that one. So the 62, 6 Spanish Fork to the second station.
Perfect. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. And that'll be serving the canyon and Highway 6?
Yep, it'll serve the East Bench, Spanish Fork Canyon. Of course, they back each other up.
Yeah. Okay, great. Wow, lots of great stuff happening. Yeah. So tell us about the fairgrounds. What's happening down there?
So the fairgrounds, this may be kind of breaking news. A lot of people may not know about this just because it's not anything we really trumpet loudly, but we just go about quietly doing the business of the community. But we just purchased 9.5 acres of ground immediately south of the fairgrounds. People might often refer to that as the old salvage yard property. Okay. And it's been kind of not in high productive use the last 10 years or so. And we've been working with the landowner to acquire that property. It comes with some environmental challenges that we're all very aware of. The site's been studied by the city, by the state. And we'll work through those challenges with the state to get them addressed and to limit any liability for the community. Okay. And then we'll be able to use that ground for parking, which, of course, we all know when you come to the rodeo, parking is sometimes a problem, kind of difficult. So.
Is it going to be an asphalt lot or a dirt lot, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, eventually we'll pave it. We want to do a few things there to make it enhance the fairgrounds property itself, but yeah, when we're all said and done, we'll make it into a nicer parking lot.
That'll be great.
It'll serve the fair, the rodeo, and frankly, there are a handful of events that have left our fairgrounds because they didn't have adequate parking for what they needed.
So we'll be able to attract new venues.
Which is great for the community because when you bring in a really big show, they don't just come to the fairgrounds and leave. Right. They're usually here for a couple of days and they bring with them a lot of funds that they disperse within the community. So.
Yeah, that's great. We could use that. One other thing I want to ask you about is the acquisition of the property next to City Hall, where the LDS Church building is.
Absolutely. So we've actually also been working on that project for more than 3 years. Yeah. Since 2015, through that Life Center discussion, we heard very loudly from the public that they didn't like the location that we had proposed for that project. Okay. They didn't like that the library was potentially going to be moved away from the center of town, and they didn't like, of course, the price tag. And so one of the things the council said immediately after that is we still need a library. Yeah. But the community wants it closer to town, and we began working with the church to purchase that property. It's taken a long time. We've been actively pursuing it since 2016. Wow. And just today, We're signing papers on that, and we have a due diligence process with them, but we should have that acquired sometime by November.
That'll be great, and that'll really help open up some space for the library and for City Hall offices.
Yeah. So parking and as the city continues to grow, we'll need space for the administration as well. And so that'll give us options.
Okay, and you've already required some of the homes on that?
Just one.
Okay, just one.
Just one immediately west of that property.
Okay, great. Wow, another project to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, again, I thank you so much, Seth, for joining us today. And next we'll meet with Lance Wilson of State Farm Insurance. That's coming right up on Chamber Today. Welcome back to Chamber Today. The Wilson name has been well known in our community for a long time, and Lance Wilson is no stranger to the Chamber of Commerce. Lance, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Aaron. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Yeah.
So you and your dad, Steve, you guys have been a staple of our community for a long time.
That's you mentioned that, and I think about the history of my dad. He had an agency here, but my grandpa, his name is Shirley Wilson.
Okay.
He's since passed away, but he actually opened up the Frost Stop, which was on 800 North and Main Street here in Spanish Fork, and I have his original business license certificate from the city, and on the date it says August 1964.
Oh, wow.
So my grandfather was an entrepreneur here in Spanish Fork, and both sides of my family originate from Spanish Fork. My mom and dad went to high school here at Spanish Fork High School. In 1982, my dad came back to Spanish Fork and had an opportunity to open up a State Farm agency.
Okay.
And it was over on First North and 100 West.
Oh, okay.
Not even on Main Street. He was there for a year. Then he moved his location to where it's at now, 220 North Main.
Okay. What year was that?
That was in 1982.
Wow. Okay.
So that was kind of my dad's starting point.
Okay.
I actually started as a State Farm agent in 2002.
Okay.
And I was in Orem. So I opened up a location in Orem, and so my dad and I got to be agents together. He kind of helped, hey, here's some things you should do. We'd go to meetings together, and I was over there for 8 years. I had a really good business, but it wasn't Spanish Fork.
Yeah.
There was no local feel, the community. No offense to Orem, but there's just not that same community feel over there that there is here. So when my dad announced his retirement, I went to State Farm, and essentially I negotiated to relocate my agency and take over my dad's location and his agency here in Spanish Fork.
Is that pretty uncommon within the...
Very. Yeah. I won't get into the details on the air, but it was something that was very unorthodox. It took a lot of working, a lot of negotiating, but I was able to relocate and take over a large portion of his clients here in Spanish Fork. And for me, just to be in my hometown, the town where I live, where I'm raising my children and I'm involved in their activities, and then to have my business here was a no-brainer.
That's great.
It was a slam dunk. So I've been here now for 9 years, almost 10.
Wow.
And I love what I do. State Farm is obviously we sell insurance, financial services, but it gives me a platform where I can be involved in the community. I can provide services to people in the community, and it's a great occupation.
Yeah. Speaking of services, tell us a bit about some of the offerings that you have.
Sure. So State Farm, as some people may or may not know, we are actually the largest auto insurer in North America.
Oh, wow.
We insure over 40 million drivers, very large company, and I have a franchise of the State Farm products. So we sell auto insurance.
Okay.
We sell homeowners insurance. Those are the two big ones. And then usually kind of following third is our life insurance.
Okay.
So a lot of life insurance.
Different types, term?
Yeah, I do term and whole life.
Whole life, okay.
Permanent life insurance.
Okay.
And obviously there's a great need for term. I really have a unique view on life insurance. I don't know if there's any single one product that is the one size fits all.
Right.
And you run into that a lot where they say, well, it's all about this certain product and nothing else. I just don't believe that's true.
Okay.
I think that there are all kinds of products for all kinds of people
Sure.
and their specific needs. And in my 18 years, I've found that that's true, that one specific product meets one customer's need very well, and then for another customer, it's not a good product at all.
So you pretty much just sit down with your customers and kind of figure out what's best for their situation?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm at a point in my career where there's not this high pressure, I got to get the sale to put food on the table, and so it's like, hey, let's just talk, see what's meeting your needs and what fits you best. And it makes it really fun. I just barely came from a life appointment with a gentleman, and it's satisfying to see a very important need being met. Life insurance is super important.
Yeah. And you do business insurance as well?
I do.
Okay.
I actually, over the years, have been able to grow a large commercial agency. And as far as State Farm agents are concerned, I'm in the top probably 3 or 4 of the state for commercial business sales. And that's a fun part of my business because it's very unique. Yeah. It's not the same every day.
Right.
We do a lot of farm ranch with our farming communities. We have a lot of ranchers that need commercial insurance for their business, and that's what it is. So do a lot of that. A lot of the businesses on Main Street we get to work with, so it's cool.
You've been very active in the chamber over the years. Tell me, for people who are maybe new to the chamber or new to the community, what do you feel like the chamber has offered you as a business owner here in town?
I say this in some of our circles, maybe off the camera or just when we're together. It's honestly, the chamber is a great place for me to hang out with my friends. Okay. It's easy to get stuck in my office and feel like I'm in this cave and it's just me all day in the grind. And when I go and interact at chamber functions, honestly, I'm with my friends. Yeah. I'm with the people that I really want to hang out with. And that's a big part of why I like to be involved with the chamber. But also, I don't think that people would disagree with this, that we should all be involved in our communities. We should all be civic minded. And an organization like State Farm promotes that very much so with a lot of the things they do. So with that encouragement from State Farm and with my own personal belief system, the Chamber of Commerce provides me a platform where I can go and be involved in the community. They kind of provide the infrastructure, and it allows me to go and serve in the community, rub shoulders with friends, and it's very satisfying. Yeah.
I think just to add on that, I know I've found personally, especially being more new to the community than you have, you are, when you're involved with the chamber, you get to meet other business owners. And so when you need insurance or you need a certain kind of service and you might not know somebody, you're like, hey, I know somebody I met at the chamber. Sure. And you give them a call. So I think it's really good from a standpoint of networking as well. And building your business.
Aaron, if that goes without being said, right? That's not necessarily the motivation why we do it, but dollars follow value.
Oh, definitely.
You go out in the community and you provide value to others, either through civic activities or through your business, and it's going to come back. Karma. And you believe that, and I do. And I, in the years that I've known you and seen your businesses thrive, a lot of that, I think, comes because you and Sarah are so active in the community as well.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Yeah. Sorry to turn the table.
No, that's okay. Now I'm being interviewed.
Now you're being interviewed.
That's great. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. It's been great chatting with you.
No, thanks for letting me be here.
Cool. Coming up, we'll look at the calendar of events this month. More Chamber Today after this short message. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the upcoming events for the Chamber of Commerce. The Farmers Market continues to be a big hit. Every Saturday morning at City Hall, you can choose the best of the local produce farmers along with other treats. And something new, September 7th and the 21st will be a street fair. It will start at 8 a.m. and end at 1 p.m. This will be located in the City Library Park. And every Friday night, the food trucks will be at the City Library Park between 5 and 9 p.m. September 12th is the Business of the Month recognition. Revere Health will be the recipient for their contributions to the community. This will be at noon and the public is invited. September 18th is the new networking launch. Wells Fargo will be presenting. Check our website for details on the location. As always, first-time visitors can attend free. September 26th is the ribbon cutting for Shootology, a new firearm business, noon at 244 North Main Street here in Spanish Fork. And on October 1st will be a ribbon cutting for Glen Ray's Corn Maze. This is at 1750 West, 8000 South, Spanish Fork. For more information about these events, please visit our website at SpanishForkChamber.com. Thanks to our guests, Jesse Cardon, Seth Perrins, and Lance Wilson. Thanks also to the leadership of the Chamber of Commerce, Spanish Fork City, and Spanish Fork 17 for the support. We look forward to being with you again with a new edition of Chamber Today next month. Thanks for watching and supporting our local businesses.